does have a more sophisticated lock. This would be something like an electronics, or I suppose you could use thievery again, really, because it is, that is what it's all about, is stealing, but this time with intelligence, as you said.
Okay,
Get the damn thing running.
So let's see, I've got thievery, intelligence, so that is a good roll again. So that's 12, so 22.
Okay.
On that one.
22, that is easy enough. You can get the vehicle fired up. The other two, I'm assuming, are kind of keeping an eye out for people. No one seems to have noticed you.
In this kind of weather, I'm not that worried.
Yeah, exactly. You do see a couple of people going by, but they're like, their collars are up, their coats, their hoods are down. No one's even attempting to use an umbrella. It'd just be ripped out of their hands. And people are kind of diving from shop to shop, but more or less, you see like a grand total of 2 people out on the street, and neither of them look like they're going to be there for very long. They're just ignoring the shit out of everything. You immediately feel the difference in the car from its handling and everything like that, and it's a lot easier to deal with on the roads. Are you going to take back roads? Are you going to take the main motorway?
Well, I think we're taking that main motorway. I hope I'm driving. You guys are a disaster for that, I bet. So I'm going to I'm sticking to the main roads. Our goal is to cover ground here. I mean, this is purely a matter of getting to this place. It's not a matter of evasion or anything like that. I'm wondering how this is not a request to the game master. Thought balloon, right? Good luck to my pals back at User with their drone in this weather. Right. They're just thinking that
I've got an idea, Shmoo. Why don't you blanket the car, make it more aerodynamic with your body?
Ooh.
Hang on to the outside of the car.
Well, basically, like if you envelop the car and then shape it so that it gives us the least amount of wind resistance as we move.
Kind of like a fleshy car.
Yeah, it's like a lozenge, so that...
I mean, I guess.
You're going to strap Shmoo to the top of the car? Oh, my God. All right.
If it's that important.
Just want to see if she'll do it.
Oh, my God.
Giant fleshy car.
You see me like my head, like, wheels are turning. I'm like, okay.
All right. That's kind of...
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll give Finn mine like that look, like, I want to see it.
All right. Let's do some...
let's also get all of our luggage.
Overheated, burned.
Oh, yeah.
Generally hammered by being on the car.
Like I could do the durability of like the material of the car, I guess, with the body morphine, try to basically make a sheath over the car. But yeah, it would probably be
technical skills. Weird. Any kind of techie knowledge, any kind of mechanics knowledge?
No technical skills. Only have funny enough thievery, but not technical.
It's easy enough for you to perform, like to shape over and kind of make it more aerodynamic as far as you're concerned.
Yeah.
So as the car hits about like 120 on the motorway, I'd like you to make a strength check. As you turn into something resembling like a parachute, kind of like the air starts to get in on between the skin and the car, and
just straight strength.
Yeah, it would be just pure unadulterated, unless you've got some skill that makes sense to use with strength. I don't know.
I don't think so. Really, I'm looking here. Resistance.
Athletics.
Athletics might do it. Yeah, resistance.
Kind of like resistance that amuses me.
Yeah. Okay. So I only have a strength of 3. Okay. I did roll a 16.
Ooh. Okay.
So.
All right. So what happens is you're no expert in aerodynamics, and it occurs to you as you hit about past 100. The first thing that occurs to you is these cars are made to be aerodynamic.
Yeah.
So adding anything to them was probably a bad idea. This is, of course, as your brains are being slowly like kind of melded up against the hood of a car.
Guys are really
the wind and rain are just hammering you from all sides, and you're feeling pretty damn miserable. You're basically just
I'll knock on the window. How you doing up there?
Yeah.
I'm fine. All right.
There's like little splats of skin kind of going
Yeah, I don't know. We're skewing kind of bad here. Let me hit the window. Come on back in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hit the windshield wipers and
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of ooze your way back in through the back window or something like that.
I think I'm gonna take a break.
Go through the
Yeah.
vents. It almost, you almost get kind of enough air between you and the car at one moment to actually be forced to lift clean off the ground.
We're not doing that anymore. You're in.
Almost.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it sounded better in my head, I'll say. And
yeah.
Power of flesh.
I would like to specify something that I did not manage to spit out with all the other things, which is that I really want to make sure that we had taken all of our stuff into this vehicle.
You said it. I heard it.
Right. Okay. Excellent. All right.
I kind of assumed you would anyway. I'm not the type
Never
of
know.
kid who'll, nickel and dime you.
Yeah.
Except when it really amuses me.
Exactly.
Okay, so the good news for you, by the way, Thin Mind in particular is noticing, has been keeping an eye on, I'm sure, for the whole user drone stuff like that. These weather conditions have grounded their drones. There is no way in hell they can actually deal with these conditions. The rain has traversed the gamut from horizontal rain to now ballistic rain. It kind of feels like you're being shot as you get out of any vehicle, even for a second or two. It's very, very cold, and you're hearing flashes, or seeing flashes and hearing thunder quite regularly. Up on the motorway, it's quite exposed most of the time, and you're really struggling to keep the car on direction.
Well, it's a good thing we got this big one.
It's better than the back roads because you can see, the big one really helps, and you can see on the even driving by, you can see some of the back roads. There are trees down and stuff like that. This is kind of late summer, early autumn, and the trees still have their leaves, which means that they are with moist ground. It just means they're easily to tear out of the ground. They're like like parachutes, So you can see, and in fact, as you drive along the motorway, you see one come crashing down. That obviously they cut back trees near the motorways, but you can certainly see them crashing down within easy distance. This becomes more pertinent as you have to leave the motorway and start heading on these tiny back roads, and eventually you come across a tree fall that you can't get by. It's just blocking the road.
I'll get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll pull over and just look at Caliban. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, this is how I do it. I don't move the tree. I pick up the car and set it on the other side.
I love that. I'd say it's awesome. Kind of like, can you move that? And I'm kind of like sitting there looking at the tree, waiting for the tree to move, waiting for the tree. I'm like, whoa!
On the other side, and then I get back in
the other road users.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need to be out here anyway. They This is dangerous work.
Fact, you see a guy kind of in a what you call it, like a Fiat Punto, this tiny little car, kind of coming up behind you, going, "Mother."
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell him, come on, and I'll put him on the other side too.
You see him, he's a little old man in his 80s. He's probably driving to church, and he's like,
"Yeah, you need to get home." I'll tell him, and then I'll get into the car. Let's go.
Okay, so you have a couple of similar near misses, and you're like constantly having to stop every now and again just to flick a branch out of the road and stuff like that. And it takes you what should have really been maybe a 45-minute trip. It takes you about an hour and a half just for small little stops like that. And of course, you had to buy your phone and all that kind of bits and pieces. Your GPS narrows down the location fairly handily for you. It's in the middle of nowhere. There is nothing. The Ballycarrig dolmen is in the literally the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around it, and in fact, it's on an area of karst landscape. This kind of like limestone pavement. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It just looks like look up limestone pavement or karst, Karst, if you want to see what it looks like. Just bare stone and rock, like little kind of low-lying foliage here and there, but not a hell of a lot. Mostly down in the kind of cracks between it. And this dolmen rests about maybe 50 meters from the road or 50 yards from the road. There's a little pull-in area.
Right. Look at the ancient dolmen, eat a sandwich, that sort of thing. Right.
Exactly. Right. There's enough for a bus, Like if anyone wants to, a second bus wants to come, they're just going to have to wait. That's the only way. And what you see there is just as you pull up, there is another car already parked there, a small family car, which is empty at the moment.
Ooh, I wonder.
Yeah. And you pull in kind of handily behind it, and about 50. It's not the car from that Morrigan had.
No, because that one got dropped on a boat.
That one, right. Exactly, yeah. But this one is This one is it's just up there outside the thing. You can see the dolmen in the distance. It's a. Do you know what a dolmen is? I don't know. I've got to check.
Well, if you want to give us a picture, that's awesome. But
yeah,
I do know what they are.
Yeah, I think I have. Actually, I think I have one. So.
Oh yeah, awesome! I love those things.
Yeah, and you can see the little examples of limestone pavement around it. It's natural, basically lumps of limestone rock that has been eroded by acid in the rain, or within. Never mind, it's complicated and not unnecessary for you to know. That thing stands about shoulder height, the top of the dolmen, and in the old days there would probably have been a center stone blocking that entrance, but it's long gone. They were often thought to be gateways to the underworld. In reality, they were probably just tombs. So as you approach the dolmen, you spot something scattered around it. Bodies.
Oh.
3 of them. They're all They're all dressed in bright-colored windbreakers, and and they have like cameras with them, and they scream tourist at you. Not literally. But,
okay. And I'm gonna check them. Are they dead? Are they unliving?
They are the undead. First victims forever.
They're anti-living.
You check them for a pulse. They are ghastly pale, deathly pale. Each of them has had their throat slashed open. Though there is no blood. It's just this horrid gash wound. And there are two men and one woman. One woman. God almighty, my brain tonight.
Use your
there are
words.
Yeah.
Yes, use my warbles. I cannot brain. I have to dump. You can just see that their throats have been slashed by something ragged, nothing sharp, and they've been exsanguinated. There's no sign of blood around here anywhere, and their eyes are kind of glazed over. This didn't happen too long ago, you would imagine. Do you have any medical skills?
I think we've all got something.
Yeah, just my technical, which
either investigation or medicine.
I'll be using
they will
investigation.
Give you different results. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be investigation.
So that would be. Is that intelligence or something else?
It'd be intelligence, yeah, because it's working out what's happened. So it would be intelligence plus thing, yeah.
Okay.
And then if you want to make medicine rolls, you can see something, see if there's anything else. Anyone who has medicine, it's up to you. Whatever you want to use. You can even use science for it, I suppose, in some different ways.
I get a 15 total.
Really? And that was on investigation.
That's my investigation using intelligence. A roll of 11 plus 4 for the other things. It's not I'm not great at it, but I roll over a 10, so
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I got a 21.
Not much better.
Ooh. Okay. Wow. And Jerry, did you roll anything?
Nah. I figure like they're dead.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but they're dead with no blood.
Right. Like I know that whatever killed them was probably not like some like street thug. And whatever killed him was probably some type of beast or savage or
My guess is that something came out of here. I mean,
right.
we got a rapscallious goat, but there's a lot worse things than rapscallious goats in Chimeran prisons, right? So Chimeran holding facilities. So therefore,
Allegedly.
First thing you note is that the ground is churned up really badly because of the moisture. There's not a hell of a lot of dirt here, so where footprints lie and stuff like that, it's really obvious because there aren't that many of them. The second part is the bodies themselves and how they've been injured. Shmoo/Polly knows, like, just this whole thing just plays out in your mind like an episode of CSI where someone's explaining everything, you know. And you can see that these 4 people arrived here. They walked around the area, and round about that time the weather started to change, and it looked like they were going to leave. Suddenly they started walking around in different ways. All 4 of them moved in different directions. And one after the other, they were something. And when I say thing, the footprint is vaguely human, not quite. That's kind of like a taloned like end to the front and end of it, the heel and the toes. Whatever it was, it didn't see it coming. You can see fear locked in at least one person's face. The rest, there was nothing. They didn't even notice it.
Yeah, it took
before
them
it killed
surprise.
them. By surprise, exactly. Where these injuries should have left massive amounts of blood everywhere, there's nothing.
We assume the blood is currently inside something else.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like these injuries weren't like a claw or like a finger's tearing out. It's more like almost like a sucker or something like a lamprey would have.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like ripped everything out of here as it did. The 3 bodies are lying in various kind of distorted stances. 4th one is missing.
Oh, okay. That's what's confusing. Because I'm like, 2 men, 1 woman. Did I do the math wrong?
So
I was watching faces.
Not to be too much of a troublemaker, but the evidence that there was a 4th is evident in some way. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Footprints.
Okay, so there was a 4th. All right.
Was a 4th, yeah. The footprints are significantly smaller.
Right.
A child, probably.
Ooh, a child. Great. We got a child possessed by a boogie vampire creature, and it's roaming around. God damn it. The thing's roaming around tonight. You know?
I know.
I can't believe it. There's goats, there's vampires.
Yeah, I know. Goddesses, who knows what next. Yeah. All right. So anyway, this is our entrance to the portal, though. This is our destination. We knew that was going to be bad, and I'm sorry about these people, but the aforementioned collateral damage does apply, unless Caliban can come up with some fix for this one somehow. And I'm actually going to look to Shmoo. And so very, I don't know how you see this, but when we ever hit like a confrontational situation, my character never takes the lead. I'm always looking at the other 2 to know where to go and what to do. So I do look at Shmoo and have kind of I'm ready.
Wow.
Tell us what to do.
Shmoo's like, I don't even know where to begin. Do we actually see a portal? Do we see like we saw in the other place anywhere?
You can
nearby?
definitely sense its presence.
You're the only one who's been through one of these.
Yeah.
You're the one who knows what to do here, I think, or at least has something to go on.
Well, you just go in the darn things. If we go in a certain direction, can you kind of feel like the pull of the power, or is there any kind of indication where?
Dolmen is really tiny.
Yeah, I think
it's like relatively speaking, it's only shoulder height. Yeah. And it's definitely inside the actual entrance of the dolmen. It's not visible, the portal. It's not like shining like the other one was. It's much more darker.
That's a good thing.
So we have to kind of crawl.
And it has a strong smell of the ocean.